Hello, I'm filmmaker Archie Wright.
Hello, and I'm ball painter Tim Baker.
Where traditions turn into stories and stories turn into laughter. Stay tuned because this is the Shrovetide Podcast.
Season 2.
They all play hard, they all play well, but there's always stories to be told. That is why I have the great honor to say, Archie Wright and Tim Baker, are you ready for the stories? Who will the guest be today? When the ball is rocked in red, white and blue, and the Englishman tries his best, the players get stories, which is why we are here. Archie Wright and Tim Baker. Who is the guest today?
So we're now with Sasha, who has a wonderful, epic story. But before we ask the story, how did you sort of get into Shrovetide and get to know Shrovetide?
So for me, I'm not originally from Ashbourne, but I moved to Ashbourne in 2006. Went to Quegs, and obviously all the talk about Shrovetide all goes on, and then just the general tradition of it all. I think it's absolutely a fantastic thing. Just started playing as a child. Again, hear all the stories of going in there and getting your hands on the paint and scratching the paint and showing your friends, and that's how you really start to play Shrovetide. And if you can get that ball and throw it in the right direction, kick in the right direction, you feel like you're doing your bit. And that's how I really got into it, really.
So, obviously not being born here, but you know, you're one of us, you're an Ashburnian. What did you first think when you first saw it? I mean, what was running through your mind when you first saw this absolute carnage and mayhem, not being raised to it like we are?
Just something really, really special that you just think, how can this continue in this day and age? And that goes for all the hard work of all the committees that do work with it. And just chaos at the time. But I just think it just brings everybody together, and it's just, we're all playing together as a family, really, and that's what appealed to me. So,
So not being from Ashbourne, do you still feel like a big Shrovetider? Like, you know, me being from Ashbourne and Tim being from Ashbourne, like, you know, we feel like...
As in born here, yeah.
Yeah, do you feel it would be the same feeling?
so I wasn't born here, but I was definitely bred in Ashbourne. Went to school here, but I do feel that you just really want to do the best for your team, and because I wasn't born either side of the river, I had to choose, and I said Downards, and I will always now be a Downard till the day I die.
Good choice.
So yeah, and I just wanted to do whatever I could to play for the Downards and get it down the form.
So speaking of Downards, this year 2026, literally like a week just about after Shrovetide while we're recording this. As a Downard, how do you feel about the rather epic defeat that the side suffered this time?
I feel it was a really, really tough pill to swallow. Definitely on that Tuesday, it was very, very, very tough. It was very equal in sort of playing, and I tell you what, it was a tight squeeze in that hug. Everyone was coming out saying, "Bloody hell, it's tight in there," just because we're all just battling so much, and it needed on that Tuesday, it needed to be broke loose, and we wanted it up and loose, and it just fell, unfortunately, to an upward, and off it went. So, but yeah, we some great stories at the top of the New Derby Hill in those fields, just us lot just chucking it about in the darkness, catching it, throwing it. It just needed to be loose if anyone was going to score at that point. So yeah, that was tough. And then the Wednesday, obviously that break from Armstrong,
yeah.
Took it right up to Sandy Brook, Rob, and he had it in his hands and they messed about. Then it came right around the back end. And as we were pushing, I'm thinking, which way are we pushing here? Because we're pushing towards Clifton.
So you were in on it at that point?
Oh God, yeah, we ran all the way right across up to Windmill Lane, all the way that way, all the way down through Paper House Lane.
Amazing.
There's a couple of us all running down that way trying to find it. We knew he was somewhere on the left and had gone that way.
We were
And
just
then-
left standing, Arch, weren't we? And Archie's dad, and we didn't know what was happening. He was trying to get updates off Derbyshire Live, which were totally misleading, and sending his ear there and everywhere, even to the point where we thought that it had gone to Clifton at one point. And of course, we ended up finding ourselves, didn't we, Archie, at Sturston ourselves, and the ball was gold. So, yeah.
It was a typical Shrove Tide of running through fields based on utter rumours.
Really?
That's all we have going on with utter rumours. We think it's gone that way. We were running, we were scanning across the hillside trying to see people if we can see them, and then it came that other side of Sturston, and we were like, well, we've got to push it that way. And
Yeah. There was a lot of people though, weren't there, Archie, not knowing where it had gone. I mean, there's a lot of seasoned players unaware of where it had gone. You know, so it was, that's what sort of takes everything. It makes a sort of like an air of mystery about it.
Plenty of
doesn't it?
telephones out ringing. Do you know who it is? Who's got it? The phones come out of tiny little paper bags, like little tiny burner phones, and everyone's ringing each other up. And we just didn't know where it went at the time. So
was you involved in any sort of major breaks with the ball or with someone who had the ball?
What, this year?
Yeah. Or ever?
Oh, ever. So I've had a story of Wednesday 2020, which was my contribution to a real goal on that day. But this year I couldn't play because I injured my knee last year. I tore my ACL, so I was under doctor's orders to stick in the outer fringes. But I just couldn't help myself. I just had to get playing. So.
It's so tempting.
It is.
So obviously, you have a tale to tell. So talk us through your. I mean, no offence to me, you were somebody I didn't know. Then all of a sudden, probably everybody involved in Shrovetide and Ashbourne knew you or knew of you because you did something rather extraordinary. So do you want to fill us all in what happened that day?
Of course I can, yeah. So it was 2020 on the Wednesday. I believe it was Paddy Kerr who turned the ball up.
Yeah, I painted it.
Yeah, it was about 5 o'clock. I couldn't. So I was working at Bill Base at the time, at the top of the hill, and I couldn't get the day off. So I actually joined the game around about 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock after I finished work. Turned all my high-vis inside out, because I'd wear a bright high-vis shirt, I had my work boots on, and I turned all my high-vis inside out, and I came down, and we were just on the park, and I was just going to sort of do my best push and just try and get them out from those fields, definitely down at the bottom of Paper House, and that's kind of where I came across the ball. It was a brilliant evening, the moon was full, there was plenty of light, you could see what was going on, the ball just came up into the air and I saw it, and it went up and into a hedge with some barbed wire fence, and I jumped over the barbed wire fence and I stood on the ball and I thought, bloody hell, I've got it here. So I put it right up my jumper and I sort of just knelt down and I told everyone, I said, it's gone that way, everyone go that way. So everyone just ran past me and I waited there for maybe 2 or 3 minutes, and I thought, right, and now's my chance. So I slowly just army crawled through the hedge, because it was quite a thick hedge. This is the bottom of the Paper House, and I crawled through the hedge and came up through a gap, and I just walked off. And I thought, if I run, I'm going to get caught here. So I carried on walking towards the tree in the corner of the recreation ground, that big tall tree at the bottom of the rugby pitches. And I walked towards there, and there was 2 upwards that came up to me, and I was hunched over really, really far forward so they couldn't see the ball. And I made out that I hurt my knee, and I was like, oh, my knee, I've hurt my knee. I'm going home, I've had enough of this. And apparently I was told they thought I was just some drunk spectator. And they came and had a look me up and down, and I thought, please don't see it. And as I just walked off, they just left me, and I thought, wow, I'm going here, and I got this ball. So I walked up to that tree, and then I went through the recreation ground up to the Long Green Hut. I heard children playing on the swings and laughing and joking. I thought, I wonder if I came out of the darkness with this ball, what would they do? So I carried on walking through there and I went to the bandstand. I got to the bandstand and the memorial gates, and I thought, should I tell a marshal? And I thought, no, I can't, I've got to keep this secret, I've got to keep going.
Amazing.
So I went up Hall Lane and onto Green Road, and then I turned left and I went to the picnic basket, and I went up towards Bellevue Road at my mum and dad's house. People were walking past me, but I was hunched over it thinking, trying to limp and look like I'd hurt myself. And I walked past the marketplace here, and I was like, I could see everyone all chatting, having a drink, and I thought, got to keep going. So this was probably about 9:10, and I'm not the fittest of people. I'm certainly not a runner. I wouldn't call myself a runner, so I had to get down there pretty quick. But I thought I'd stop off at my mum and dad's house anyway, so I went up to Bellevue Road and banging on the door, bang, 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 bang. And mum wasn't answering, I was banging the door. She's like, what's gone on? So she thought I'd hurt myself or something. And I said, well, I've got this. which we'll probably insert a photo at some point. But yeah, I've got this ball, and she was like, right, get in here now, quick. So we got inside through the door, and she was like, what are you going to do? And I was like, well, I've got to get it down to Clifton, haven't I? So we chucked it around the living room for a little bit, had a little laugh at it. Right, what time is it? Must have been about 20 past now. I said, I've got to go. I'm off. I told my partner to ring Mark Robson, who's a friend of mine, still is a friend of mine, and he got all the downwards and told them all where it was, and that I was on my way to Clifton. So I came out of Bellevue Road onto Dark Lane, and then I carried on down Mayfield Road. Again, just walking. I wasn't running because I didn't want to draw attention to myself, and I got to the Shrovetide statue, and I thought I might wait for Mark here, because I was going to give it him as a housewarming present, because he's just moved into a house. His dad scored in '94, Paul Robson. So I was like, right, this will be great. And then the excitement took over, and I was right, I've got to go. So I left this statue, and I went over the brook, over the Henmore, and I went straight into those fields behind Aldi, and just took a straight run, just straight through, hopping over fields, and kept pulling the ball out my jumper and thinking, what is going on here? I've got this is unbelievable. Straight back in my jumper.
Just interjecting a bit. Let's just stop for a moment and just explore those feelings. You've got this brown, wet ball in your hand that the whole of Ashbourne's battling for.
Yeah, the whole town's after.
How, and no one knew at this point you'd got it. I suppose everybody was hunting high and low for it. Probably even thought it was still in play.
Yeah.
What literally was going through? What feelings were you feeling at that point?
What was going through your head?
Yeah.
Just don't be seen, stay off the roads, move quickly, as fast as I could, and yeah, just disbelief. I had this ball, it was muddy, it was filthy, it was quite a small ball that year, so I think that's what helped with my getaway, really. And it was scratching my stomach, and I was like, oh no, I'll keep it under here, so I kept it on, and I couldn't believe I had it in my hands, and I had all that time, and there was no one there, and I just thought no one come up behind me, and I was constantly left, right, looking, just making sure no one was behind me. So it was just disbelief, really, disbelief.
Amazing. So carry on. You were
So I was behind Aldi, and then I sort of shimmied across a branch to try and get over the river, because then it snakes back round again. And again, the moon was shining. I could see. As I got to the goal, I thought, my goodness, I'm in here, I'm going to goal this. Couldn't believe it. The moonlight was shimmering off the water, everything was silent, and I thought, right, here we go, it's my chance. So I pulled it out my jumper, jumped into the water, and as I went up to go and goal it, everyone jumped off the bank and they all went into the hug, and the straws were drawn, and Craig Frith goaled it. So I'm just glad I could get it down there in time, because I wasn't had to move quickly. So I was actually delighted, really. Yeah.
Was you disappointed that you didn't goal it?
Absolutely, yeah. I think for anyone's a Shrovetide, and if you're anything like me and dream about it from all year round, and
especially coming so close.
Coming so close.
Literally being what were you feet away from the goal? Or?
Yeah, it's pretty close. Yeah,
Wow.
I pulled out my jumper and was ready to goal it, and it was all brought into the hook then, and they closed it all up to stop it going loose.
So when you got to the goal, Sasha, there was obviously players around the goal then down.
Yeah, they're all on the top. All on the top of the bank. Yeah, but from what I could see, I thought there was no one there. It was just silent. Everyone was obviously on their phones thinking, "Where is it? What's going on?" And I thought, "Wow, I'm in here. I've got a chance." So I jumped in. Yeah, and they all hooked it all up and stopped it from getting loose. So, but my main objective was to get it there on time and do it for the Downers, and it was ended a draw in that year. So I think I helped a little. So. My contribution.
You helped a hell of a lot. I think that's because it was on its way to Thurston, Archie. It was getting up that way, wasn't it?
It was bottom of Paper House, which is they say their fields, but we don't take that anymore.
I'd left it. Being a Downer, at that point it was getting dark. I thought, well, this is going to go up, and I'll go home and get some tea.
Well, how did you feel then when you saw that Downer had gold then, Tim? How did you feel at that point?
I'm going to be honest with you, Archie. I was playing it from Ashbourne Radio, so I'd gone home as a slightly bored, if I'm honest, spectator at that point, because it was just in the fields, and I'm not a fan of in the fields playing. Sorry, that's just me.
Right.
And it's dark, and you can't really see any. You just load a series of grunts and groans.
That's it. You're just following the steam, and you're doing your best. Yeah.
And as you said, it was a moonlit night, so I got the radio on, and we were listening to the radio, and then all of a sudden there was that typical how can I say, No one knew where
The
it was.
Shrove Tide rumour mill.
Yeah,
Who's got it? Someone's got this.
The
someone's got
radio
that.
people desperately trying to find Archie this story. Where was it? Where was it? There was people coming back saying, "Oh, it's going up." And the guy who was doing the commentary on the radio, who happened to be an Uppard player, was very proing the Uppards. Oh, it's going to go up. It could be up. The Uppards will come out with it
Because
soon.
it looked like it was going that way.
Yeah, and the Uppards will be doing this. They'll be going here. They'll be going there, and all that. And then from my point of view as a spectator, this interjection happened. By one of the people on the ground who said, "I'm at Clifton. It's in the water. It's going to be gold." And I was at Sarah's house, my friend, and we were elated being down as it was going to be gold at Clifton because he'd turned it around. It was only a few days, maybe the day after, a couple of days later, I heard Sasha's epic tale of being the one that got it there. Because whether people like it or not, getting it there averted for the Downers another goal at Sturston.
It's all part of the big picture, though. Do you know what I mean? It's still a big team game. You got to get those breaks, and you got to have a bit of luck on your side, big time. You got to be crafty. You got to have the wisdom of it all. You got to do what you got to do to get in that
I
direction.
suppose, Sasha, it's safe to say the reason the Downers didn't lose in 2020 was because of you. And I think that's safe to say that.
I can think it's safe
Quite
to
possibly.
say that. Yeah, absolutely, mate. And it's something, I think, isn't it? I suppose as a Shrove Tider yourself and an Ashburn bloke, it's just something that doesn't happen every day, is it? How you found that ball?
It's a once in a lifetime opportunity, and I hope and pray that if I keep playing, I will get the opportunity again.
I hope
And I
so,
will.
mate. It just doesn't happen. I mean, you hear of people finding balls at the feet. I think Harry Fowler. I only know of two people. There's loads of Shrove Tiders that are going to correct me now and say, "Oh, let this happen." But I only know of two in my sort of time: Harry Fowler in 1985 and Sasha here in 2020.
And just the irony of the fact that I joined halfway through the day and I couldn't play the full day, and it just goes to, it's just strange how the stars fall, and you have to be lucky. Then I was very much so.
Absolutely. So, obviously we just had Shrove Tide. What are your thoughts, Sasha, on the way the game has changed over the last few years? I don't mean the way it's played as much, but just the general change in the game. What do you think? How do you think that's affecting the way it's being played?
So we always speak about the amount and quantity of people, and like I was saying, the hug was so tight this year.
Tight because of what?
Just because of the amount of people that were playing. I think it was even in the when it was loose. Sometimes it's tight against a wall, and you think, "Bloody hell, I'm getting crushed here." But when two teams are going at it, everyone wanted to get that ball. And I think it's a real shame the damage. We have to speak about the damage that happened this year, and it's been mentioned by the committee. But I don't think the boarding and how things are sort of looked after at the minute can just cope with the sheer quantity. So that car got destroyed, shouldn't have happened. It was just so many people. We had just going down the high street. The windows were cracking, and I just couldn't believe it. The timber that was supposed to protect them was cracking and breaking just because of the sheer amount of people.
Really?
It was a very, very busy year. It was busy until the evening as well. People were still out there, and it was just it's difficult going through town. It's hard. You want to push it down the roads, but it just side to side, back to forth, either side of the road, crashing and breaking on things. And
So I'm going to bring you, Archie, in here now. And so it's time to ask you a question. You played for the first time this year. You're only 15. Like Sasha, you're a Shrove Tider, and you've got that in common. You're both Downers. How was it for you? Sasha got his big involvement, but how did you feel for the first time having a go from being a spectator to a wannabe player?
Well, it did. I got in the hug once not even by purpose. It was just by accident. We were on Park Avenue, and as you were there. We were filming, and we was on Park Avenue near this car, and the ball went up a bit, so we carried on. Next minute, it came straight back. And we're in the hook. I'm there trying to push, and you're like behind me trying to pull
you away to keep you safe.
I'm like, I want to push you. You're like, no.
But you went on to have some purpose play, though. You went on and had some
purpose
push.
play. When it was at Shawcroft, it went back to Shawcroft, and there was a bit of open back, so I went to push, and my mate Logan came to push with me, and then we got told to stop pushing, and then there was another time.
as long as you're pushing in the right direction,
Yeah.
Archie,
Yeah.
definitely.
Oh, he's
you're
definitely
doing
pushing the
something,
same way as you.
Yeah, as long
And
as
then
you're in
there was when Billy Billy Webster turned up the second
that was
ball.
quite amazing. That
And
was.
Shall I say the story of what
Yeah,
happened
tell us the story.
there? So basically, the ball was turned up, and the hug came straight to the
Went forward
went
past the plinth.
straight forward, and I was there with my stomach like going in
Crushed.
like crushed, and I was like, yeah, I feel you grabbed my arm, or someone grabbed my arm and pulled me out. Was that you? Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Someone
Yeah.
grabbed my arm and pulled me out of that situation, and then there's an open back play, so I think, fuck it, I'm playing. So I play and I'm pushing the hug, and as it goes on, I just think, crap, where's my brother gone? So I
Yeah,
look,
you lose people. Like, where's everyone?
yeah, because my brother's only 12, I thought.
But you had a bit of a Sasha moment. You witnessed somebody else having a moment like that, didn't you? Where they. So tell us
And
what
it's
happened
flipped
then.
off to the left, just right at whatever that. What building is it called now? The shop.
Yeah.
Usually go for that alleyway, but they nip left. And
Yeah.
go on, you tell us.
Yeah, go on
So
now.
what happened was, the hook was there. Next minute, someone comes out with the ball underneath the top, and they look at me and Tim and go, "Shh," like that. And
We didn't know whether they were uppers or downs.
So I just, from instinct, I thought it was John Ford. So from instinct, I just go run with him because John's a good friend of mine. So I think I'm going to go run with him to Clifton to witness him goal his first ball if he gets there.
Yeah.
And
Doubt you'd kept up, but yeah, you could have a go.
yeah. And when I found out it wasn't him, I thought, right, I could try and maybe tackle him. I knew I wouldn't, but I thought I could give it a go. It's Shrovetide. The ball came out of his jumper, he was kicking it, and someone grabbed it, and then we went over not past the fire station, it was sort of to the side of the fire
Yeah,
station, going up
over
Over
the
the
car
wreck, yeah.
yeah, over the wreck, and I saw someone run past the fish pond, and I'm thinking at this point I'm not going any further.
I think that's where it was passed on to the goaler who
Yeah.
ran the rest of
I
the
don't know
way.
if
wasn't it?
Martin Taylor managed to get something on that in the end. I think they definitely had a little scuffle. And you want to thank Derbyshire Constabulary for their drone footage, but you might be able to see it. There's a little hug of red, and I think Martin managed to break it up a little bit, but it was just overwhelmed. It was
Yeah.
Yeah,
By
it's a
that point.
pity.
Yeah, it was just by that point
Yeah.
I think I'm not going any further. I'm going back to Tim, so that's what I do. And
Sometimes when you see someone coming out of it, you follow them and you kind of like you hold on to them and go.
Yeah.
And if they're going the right way, then off we go. But if they're going the wrong way, you've just got to take them to the ground. You've just got to get it off.
So does the adrenaline kick in then, Sash? When you pick your ball up on the floor and you realise, bloody hell, I'm getting away with this. Does it kick in? What is it? Just thoughts? What thoughts are going through your mind at that time? I know it's to get there, but what other thoughts? What's your brain processing?
Run as fast as you can. Don't get taken out and just chuck it in the right direction. That's all you can do. Because
So
again, the crowds, you can't run that far before you run into a woman and a child. So you just need to just chuck it and throw it.
Yeah.
If you've got a good length running on it, then you just go for as fast as you can. So when I chuck it here, and you pass it, and you're supposed to have a nice line of people that you use to just keep passing the ball through, and it's going to move a lot faster than you are. So you chuck the ball, run, chuck the ball, run, chuck the ball, just go for Clifton.
Absolutely
Each and every time.
amazing. Yeah.
so this is just a bit of a random question. I'm just curious. So before we started filming, you said that you was a big fan of the podcast. So what are your actual thoughts on the podcast that me and Tim do?
I love watching anything Shrovetide based. In fact, anything of the medieval ball game, from the Orkney Bar to Atherstone ball game, I always watch them. I think they're brilliant. I think the tradition needs to stay alive, because in this day and age, our traditions are being really eradicated and lost to the memories. So I think what you guys are doing is just it's really keeping hold of those memories and those stories via a podcast, and they're just pub talks about what we all talk about in the pub after. And it's going to hopefully last. I don't think it's promoting
No.
Shrovetide as much. We just want the players and everyone who enjoys Shrovetide to listen to these stories and remember them for the future generations. And I think it's really, really brilliant.
Thank you. I think that's the point we'd like to reiterate. These are not RB Archie ever to promote Shrovetide.
It's like I said in the previous podcast, I don't look at the camera and say come to Shrovetide.
No, we don't want you to come, folks. If you're watching this and you don't come from Ashbourne, please stay away. We can't manage with any more people.
It's a local game.
For local people.
It's a local game for local people.
It's true though.
Yeah.
It's becoming to a point where our little town can't cope with 16,000 people. I was going from the reception on Shrove Tuesday back up to work,
There's loads of people.
and there was a double-decker bus of tweed-clad, wine-swilling men and women in sort of country wear
Ready for a
coming
jaunt.
to get sloshed at Shrovetide. They weren't here to play it, put it that way.
Well, I think it's a game for a free-for-all, and people watching this, if you aren't from Ashbourne, I will just say, Shrovetide to Ashbourne is like Christmas.
It means so much to us, and we
everybody.
cannot lose it,
We can't, no.
and we will protect it.
We will
And
protect
you know,
it
we
at all
can't
costs.
cope with these amounts of, you know, figures of people. I mean, as I often say to people who visit the museum in the summer, you know, don't come for the game, watch it on YouTube and come back in the summer months and look at the town when it needs a bit of welcomed, you know, trade, really.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful town.
Yeah, well, I don't know about you guys, but for me, it feels better than Christmas. That's for me. 'Cause
A lot
I
of
don't like
people,
Christmas, but
a
yeah.
lot
Ashbourne's
of
Christmas.
people say that, don't they? So, Sasha, when you obviously got to Clifton and you didn't goal the ball, obviously, what happened after that? I mean, just fill us in with the moment the ball was obviously goaled by somebody else and coming back.
I felt absolute great pride walking back into town. I think someone set up some fireworks. It was quite a crazy event. We were walking back to the Green Man, and then it was declared as gold. It was fantastic. And then that evening was just fun and frolics. It was plenty of drinks were bought from both sides. In fact, both sides bought me some load of drinks. And we got in about 3:30 in the morning. Was at work for 7, so still made my duties. But due to the when I was in the river, my hat and glasses got knocked off. I wore glasses at the time, and very kindly all the downers went into a pint glass and chucked some money in for me to replace those glasses, so I can't thank them enough. There was some money in there for me to get some new glasses, so I was very grateful for that. So yeah, that was nice, very nice.
So Sasha, I'm going to ask a question that Tim normally asks. So what upwards do you like playing against, and what downers do you like playing with?
So for the upwards, it's really down to it's a lot of really hard, tough plays. They hug really well. So Josh Redfern keeps on the ball really well, and his brother Drew, good battlers, and they're really nice to play with. You know, if you're having a tussle, they could easily do me some damage, but they play very fairly. And Drew's a big, strong lad, so I enjoy playing with them. And then Monty, Broom. A lot of really good players, and then the runners. Rob Armstrong's doing really well, nice young fit lad. Psycho, all these players are people I've definitely looked up to and watched over the years, and that's who I enjoy playing with and against. And then for the downwards, it's for me people like John Ford, Paul Spencer, Mark Coxon, really digging in deep and playing all day. Martin Taylor, fantastic runners again. Froggy, Jimmy, all these players are down there rooting for us, driving us on, driving us forward, and they just keep the downers pushing, whatever direction.
Do you feel your downward meetings helps with all of this?
Downers meetings are fantastic to get to see the faces, get to know people. From October onwards, we get the training involved. The WhatsApp group fires up and it's training, and we try and get down and see people and just get to know people so you're ready for the day. And the meetings are about driving us forward, thinking about how we're going to play that game, how we're going to beat those upwards, and just full of motivation and drive for the game.
Well, with the meetings, obviously you might not see people for a while through the year. You might only see them
every year, yeah.
on Shrovetide. So, is it anything to do with trust as well, to make sure they've not sort of changed upward because of people convincing them, or do you think you just trust them anyway because they're friends of yours?
Yeah, we have to trust them, and because we all grew up with each other from school, you kind of know who's who. But I don't think there's any swapping of sides, actually. No, that's not how it goes.
No.
It's taboo.
It is, yes.
So, do you have any funny Shrovetide stories?
Yeah, plenty of stories. So this year, in for example, it was on Shawcroft, and the ball went up into the air and was pretty loose, and a lady had grabbed hold of it, and we all ran over to see what the commotion was, and there was like, "That's no lady, that's Rachel Salt," and she was nearly ran off with it, so she nearly slipped away
What
with
day
it.
was that?
That was on the Wednesday, I think
On
it
the
was.
Wednesday,
Yeah, I think it was.
amazing.
Yeah, so she nearly ran him off with it. So
Knowing
anyone
Rach-
can do it.
Well, knowing Rach, she'd have gone the right way. I think
She
she's
was.
down.
She is. Yeah.
So, any other sort of funny stories?
There's times when I used to play with contact lenses in, and I'd be in the hug and my arms would be tight like this, and I'd look down and I'd go a bit blind, and I think, what's going on here? Because I've taken an elbow. and I looked down. On the back of this bloke's head was my contact lens. So all I could do was give it a lick and stick it back in my eye.
So that was, you're a brave lad.
That was a
doing
good story. Yeah, that's quite a good one. Stories of being down by the just behind home base, where them tunnels go underneath the road. We were running through there, and it was my leg and another guy's leg. And I managed to whip my leg out of the way, and I don't know if he broke his leg, but it was pushed right up against that stuff, and that was a really scary time. That's a pretty good story. Times where we've been pushing through fields and just complete darkness, just straight on someone's head, just follow that guy's bald head, just straight on Fordy's head, straight on Fordy's head. And there was another good story. I was just to the left of the fish pond, and we'd all fallen over, and that year I had some quite I basically had Banana Man pants on, and as I'd fallen over, they picked me up, but my trousers stayed where they were. So my trousers came down, and I had these light blue Banana Man pants on, and I was like, this is embarrassing. And I was there just in my pants, so I had to pull my trousers up, and as they dragged me out.
Rapid.
Yeah, that was quite embarrassing.
Look for Sasha's pants.
Yeah, my pants. Yeah. So yeah, loads of stories. Yeah,
Brilliant. That's what it's all about, isn't it?
It's about having a laugh with your mates. Yeah.
So Sasha, the Shrove Tiders that watch the podcast are out there. What would you like to say to the uppers and downers?
I think always, most importantly, is we have to protect the game and protect each other. I think there is a chance that it could be lost and it'll be lost forever, and that's something that nobody wants. We feel so much passion for the game. We all love the game. We don't want to see it lost, so please protect it.
And
come on, you Downers!
Come on, you Downers!
There's a town still plays this glorious game, though 'tis but a little spot, and year by year the contest fought from the field that's called Shawcroft. Then friend meets friend in friendly strife, the leather fort again, and they play the game right manfully in snow, sunshine or rain.
If you like the podcasts and want them to continue, then
Like and subscribe.